Some people are going to Port St. Lucie, some of them going even further up.
Yeah.
And not knowing that there's still ways a person can get property where it doesn't have to cost an arm and a leg.
Yeah.
But they just don't want to have to deal with it because they always feel like real estate is the other big boys are going getting all the big stuff, like the way BlackRock was doing forever. Yeah. So they figure it's like it's either I'm gonna suffer and wait a long time to get a property, or end up paying something outrageous just because I wanna possibly. That's funny. So that's pretty much the way that I would be presenting it.
Okay. I have roughly like an hour left.
Good.
Okay.
That's more than enough.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
You let me know when you're ready.
I'm ready. I'm seeing us right here. I'm already live on YouTube and Facebook.
Okay.
So it's just a matter of us getting started.
All right.
And getting a good angle on this one. And then,
Here you go. We could put this on.
all right.
Put this on, and this will just be long form content that I can use to edit my own, do little videos or whatever.
That's so cool.
Yeah. Let me make sure it works. Okay, go ahead and say something.
Mm-hmm. Testing, testing.
Okay.
Hello, hello, hello.
All right, perfect. Let's keep it there. Let's drop it here. Drop it a little lower.
Perfect. I'm trying to put this as
See if I could add this. This will make it a lot better. It's good or what?
definitely way better
Yeah.
when we have that. I'm pretty sure it's probably like a lot clearer on your side.
Yeah. Take the book bag out.
Mm-hmm. Still on?
Yeah. I'm trying to get it to. There we go. Okay. Perfect. Now let's test it. Let's test the microphone.
Test.
Something?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Testing.
Okay.
Hello.
Yeah.
All right, perfect.
Yeah, that's not clear. Okay, let me zoom on just a little bit. Okay. Okay.
And do you mind if I say some stuff in Creole as well?
No, I mean, like, the whole point is that yeah, of course.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back and forth.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so.
Yeah, we're doing it. All right. That's it.
Oh, cool. Look, yeah. Hey,
Yeah.
everybody.
Yeah, they're already putting likes and loves because they know I don't usually do this. Well, let's get started.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, Antonio, I'm so happy we're getting to do this on
Yeah.
October 6th,
Yeah.
right? And we're on a high rise. We're looking over the world.
Yeah.
And you see, our topic today, guys, this is Antonio Lopez. I've known this guy for a long time, very passionate about, especially the world of real estate. And one of the biggest things I've been finding out is like lately, a lot of people are having health issues just because there's a lot of financial disparity or issues with real estate. If it's not fees, it's price going up. And a lot of people figuring it's like, they're even comparing Florida like California. That's how expensive they're saying it is. And people are merging on to go to places so far from their job just because they want to have a decent living condition. Are you encountering that at all in your real estate realm?
Yeah, so what happens a lot are, especially with folks that are retired, they have a consistent income coming in every month, but it's the same amount of money every month. And so what's been going on down here in South Florida is that the cost of insurance has really been going up over the last couple of years. Not only that, but taxes, especially from 2026, taxes are already infamously going to go up, right? So what happens is when someone is on some kind of pension, or maybe they're living off of Social Security, right? That Social Security amount stays the same. But if taxes and insurance start going up, that's where the disparity happens, right?
Yes.
That's what causes a lot of folks to go through hard times, because now they thought that they were going to be retired. Now they got to go out and start working again, whether it's at Publix or Walmart or side little gigs, and then here's the other, it's like a catch-22, because if they start making more money, all of a sudden their Social Security benefit starts going down.
Yes, that's correct.
Right? Yeah, so it's like a dog chasing its tail kind of thing.
Yes.
And so from my experience, because what I do, I work specifically with people that are in pre-foreclosure.
Yes.
So these are all people that are already going through a tough time. A lot of my clients are a little bit older, let's say, 70 and up. I would say the other half are between the ages of, I'd say like 50 and 70.
Okay.
Right? And it doesn't always have to be, something that happens because of insurance and because of taxes, real estate taxes.
Yes.
Sometimes the hardship comes from a job loss. Maybe the person is the main breadwinner in their family, and then all of a sudden they get laid off, and now it's a little bit tougher to make ends meet, even with the wifey working.
Yes.
Because again, taxes and insurance are going up. As many of you probably know out there, the cost of just the general cost of living is going up, right? I just went to the what is it called? I just went to Publix and I got like a tomato, a onion, not even like a bunch of them, right? Just an onion, a tomato, steak, and everything in total was like $75.
Yep.
That's and I remember when $75 was like a week's worth of food, right?
Yes.
I bought like a rotisserie chicken, trying to get all my basics in, but I would pin it on a couple of things. I would pin it on the increased cost of living, taxes and insurance going up, and just life happening to people,
Yeah, we call it the 4 Ds: disease, disaster, death, and divorce.
Yeah,
when these things happen, there's an opportunity.
Yeah, no, and you said it, disease and divorce. Divorce, with me personally, not so much. I don't really come across a lot of people that have to sell their house because they're in divorce. Usually, it can be because of disease.
Yes.
And it's usually age-related.
Wow.
The person just cannot perform at the level that they did when they were 50, 55, 60, right? Once they start hitting close to the 80s, in their late 70s, it is what it is.
That is correct.
You're not going to perform like a 35, 40-year-old out on the street.
Exactly.
So what ends up happening with these folks is that, and here's the thing, like when somebody goes into, and I don't know if we could go into this, into pre-foreclosure. Right?
I love that.
When somebody goes into pre-foreclosure, a lot of the time, especially in the Hispanic community, right? A lot of folks, they go ahead and they stick their heads in the sand, right? I've worked with a ton of people in the Haitian community, and it's actually, I would dare to say that it's even more, in that community, because of in my experience has been, it's because of the language barrier, the language gap, right? And the cultural gap.
Yes.
right? Coming from Haiti, being an immigrant from Haiti, you come with different ways of thinking. You know, like my parents are immigrants. My mom is Cuban, or excuse me, my dad is Cuban, and my mom is Honduran. And so, you know, they came from two distinct places, which are completely different than the United States.
Mm-hmm.
And so the patterns of thinking, right, are not the same as they are here.
Yes.
You know, and I don't know if we have Hispanic viewers or even viewers from the Caribbean. You guys know that the number one thing they instill in us is to work hard.
Yeah.
Plain and simple. What do you come to this country for? It's to work.
Yeah.
You know, it's to work. But me, my I guess whatever. My benefit is that I was born here, so I grew up inside of, you know, the United States versus my parents who grew outside, or anybody else that's an immigrant. They come from the outside, and so I got lucky enough that, you know, I got to learn that it's just not hard work that is what has us succeed in the United States, right? It's also working smart.
Yes, that's correct.
Right? Learning about finances, learning the rules of your personal finances and how to grow and what do you need to do to grow, right? All of that is learned. This is not something that was passed down to me and you.
Yeah.
Nobody's passed it down. Susie and Bobby got it passed down because their family has been here for generations.
Estates.
So so every
insurance.
person, correct, every person coming down that lineage has learned a little bit and is adding to the legacy,
Yes,
right? In our case, our legacies are in another country,
that's correct.
right? So that's part of what's going on as well. You know, it's like that the lack of financial education is specifically in minority groups.
That's correct.
You know,
And sometimes there's kind of like a gatekeeping type. Like, I have the information, I don't want to really share it much, but I'm using it as like a warlord. Then you got to pay me for me to do something for you. And some of the people, they don't know that there's so many ways you could get the information. And one of the basic one is through either podcasts, reading, and going to seminars and things of that sort.
well, you know, I'll tell you this. I mean, look, how I look, when I first got interested in real estate investing, it was like 2000. It must have been like the year 2000. No, I'm sorry. Like 2010 or something like that. Like I was fresh out of the university, and I knew I wanted to become a real estate investor. My thinking back then was to buy property. You know, I wanted to have a 400-unit building. Everybody wants a 400-unit building when they first start out, which is great, right?
Yes.
But here's the thing, right? Like, you could look at YouTube videos,
Yeah.
and you could read books,
Yeah.
and you could go to all these free seminars, and you could do everything that's free to be able to gather that information. But it, you know, where the true difference comes in, and what you're talking about, to come back to like that, to that gatekeeping type of thing, right?
Yeah.
I'll say this: the people that gatekeep, there's a reason that they're gatekeeping, right? They're gatekeeping it because it's not just enough to go out and get all the free stuff,
Yes.
right? It's not just enough to go out and see a couple YouTube videos. You have to immerse yourself
Yes.
in the situation or whatever it is you want to accomplish. Let's say it's, you know, mechanics. How do mechanics learn? Mechanics learn off of books, but at the same time, how do they really learn?
Yeah.
They got to work on the car,
Yes.
right? And so I think that's where a lot of people stop, right? And the way to get over that is to invest in yourself,
That's right.
right? Like whether it's, you know, going to that class that costs $45 or that workshop that costs $500. And I know, again, you know, we were talking about the financial situation.
Yes.
It is a lot of money,
Mm-hmm.
right? $500 can be a lot of money for some families. But here's the thing. You're going to spend that money anyways.
Yes.
So my recommendation, and I think it's Gary Vee who said it, it's like you have to bet on yourself.
Yes.
Like I can go to the racetrack per se, or I could go to the casino and I could bet everything on red. I could put $500 on red. right? I'm betting
Yeah.
on red.
Yeah.
So why not take that same mentality
Yeah.
and bet on yourself,
That's right.
right? Like, you know what? I'm gonna make these $500 count. I'm gonna double them up,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm investing in myself. I'm betting on myself. And that's, I think, what separates, you know, a lot of the successful people from the non-successful people. And like you said, you know, the gatekeeping happens because I'll be the first one to say it. Like, you know, when you succeed and you see that what you do is working and you have like a formula and you're working it and it's making you money, and then you got some guy or some girl that you've seen over the years, you know, going to like the free events and but they're not producing results, you know, to a certain extent, you're kind of like, man, like, what are you doing?
Exactly.
Right? Like, it obviously works, and it's actually not a secret.
Mm-hmm.
But the difference is, in my opinion, when you start investing in yourself, when you start betting on yourself, that's where in your mind something shifts, and now it's like, oh man, I'm spending money on myself. I gotta make this happen. You know how much I've spent in coaching just this year?
Wow. Let's say like 75,000.
I've spent over $100,000 on my own coaching.
Wow.
And I've been doing this since 2011.
Wow.
And I'm just finally able to make those types of investments. You know, I've invested with Marshall Silver.
Yeah.
I've invested with Damon from REI Black Book. I've invested with my life coach. I've invested in 2 masterminds. Actually, 2 masterminds. And not only that, but the what it costs to make that investment work. Correct. All the I don't know how to say it, the accessories or all the things that go around that investment in yourself. The rent-a-cars, the dinners, the planes, the hotels, right? Yeah, additional tools and software. So I'm not trying to scare anybody away because I know I'm kind of going off on the limb talking about 6 figures.
People should be hearing it. We even have realtors online.
Yeah, realtors are some of my favorite people.
Yeah.
Because they work so hard. Yeah, man. Every time I meet realtors, I tell them, I'm like, hey, you work so hard. Like, you are so underpaid. And especially now with all these BS rules that came out with the realtor. And I get it. You know, the association was forced into a corner. Totally get it. Right? But now guys are getting paid 2%, 1.5%, 2.5%. When 3% was low enough.
Exactly.
You know, like 3% was the reason it was 3% is because everybody agreed 3% was fair.
Exactly.
You know? But yeah, realtors out there, you know, specifically for realtors, it's a shift.
Yes.
You know, it's all it is a shift because you guys already know the rules. You already know comparables. You know how to find properties. You know what distressed properties are. You have an idea of what pre-foreclosures are. So for you guys in particular, it's just a shift. It's like instead of, you know, and I'll give it to you. I'll give you there's no secret here, right? Here's the freebie. Instead of representing your seller, buy the house yourself.
That's it.
And use somebody else's money. Because now, you know, OPM. You know, you're going to pay for the money because you're renting it, but who cares?
Yeah.
You're a realtor. You know that if you buy this property, you know you can resell it for more money.
That's right.
Right?
That's it.
So it's, you know, again, it's just a shift, especially for my realtor friends out there. And by the way, I'm licensed as well. I got my own license, so when I get my properties, I buy them, and I go to flip them and put them on the market. I put them on. I use my own license, so I can save on that 3%. Yeah, because otherwise you're paying.
It adds up.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
3%.
Yeah.
No, it is 3% of the sales price.
Yes.
Not 3% of the net profits.
Exactly.
So it's like off of the big chunk, you know, and then you got to take off closing costs, etc.
That's right.
But I don't want to, you know. That we could talk about that a whole nother day.
It's so funny. Today, I have one of my good friends that's going to do real estate class. Started at 6 till 10:30. Another one next week is going into real estate class, but they're doing the 9 to 6 for 1 week. It's as they figure like, hey, if I go into the system, I told them when I was taking the class, the minute I understood that sometimes being a realtor can affect you if you are an investor, because you have to disclose that you're a realtor. so that they know that, hey, you're a professional, so that they don't say that you took advantage of them, something of that sort.
Correct.
They used to say that back in the days.
No, and it's still true to this day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the number, look, our company's number one core value is transparency, right? So transparency is the number one core value at our company, meaning that I make sure, and my entire team makes sure that that seller or whoever it is that I'm working with, that person knows exactly what is going on, that they know the details about the transaction, that they know what to expect, when is the closing date, exactly how much money they're gonna make.
Yes.
So at the end of the day, there's absolutely no question about absolutely anything. There are no doubts, right?
Okay.
So we make sure we clean that up right at the beginning.
That's good.
Yeah, absolutely. And one of those things is exactly that. Like, hey, I am a real estate agent, and in this case, right, I'm not acting as your real estate agent. I'm actually the purchaser of this property.
That's it.
That's all you got to say. It's just like a,
Let it be
disclosure.
known. Yeah.
Let it be known.
Let it be aware.
To be even extra careful for you realtors out there, there is a form, okay? If you look in your form simplicity, there is a form that's basically seller, agent notice to seller
Okay.
of agent's personal interest in the property.
It's my people that was telling me, should I share it? I said, of course, share it. That's how they blown up my phone.
Yeah, no, absolutely. You
Yeah.
that's definitely something that, again, transparency is key. And if you feel like you can't be transparent, it doesn't mean that there's something bad.
Yes.
You know, because a lot of folks, you know, like in some of the deals that I do, you know, there's a lot of money to be made, right? And oftentimes, especially at the beginning, when you're not making that kind of money, you feel guilty. You're like, man, you know, but in reality, it's not what's fair, it's what you negotiate.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
It's what you
So it's
negotiate.
mindset also.
Yes.
Because if you feel you don't deserve it, you're not gonna pitch for it.
Correct. If you
Yeah.
feel you don't deserve it, you're not going to pitch for it. You're not going to try to swing for the fences.
Yes.
Right? And that's what I'm trying to say here. So, you know, if you're having trouble putting something into words, it doesn't mean that it's necessarily a bad thing. It just means that maybe you need to inject yourself in the community, right? Maybe you need to do outreach and join a real estate investors association, because that's where I got started. Now everybody, the first thing that I did,
A RIA club, right?
no, actually I got my real estate license.
Okay.
And then I joined the RIA club.
Good.
And now I just started the first Latin Real Estate Investors Association.
Oh, that's so awesome.
Yeah.
Congrats.
We just did our first meeting last month. In this coming month, we're doing another one in Palm Beach. So if we have any Hispanic and Latin brothers and sisters on these, what are these called? The live streams?
yes.
Yeah, on the live stream. Sorry,
I meant to say to you, we are on TikTok on this one. In this one, we're on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. So
Okay, cool.
the funny thing is that you'll find a lot of the people who are in the forum with us, they can see us on YouTube.
Okay, cool.
YouTube and also Facebook. So it's a combo of all things because it keeps on going.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, definitely. All right, that is so cool. And what inspired you to actually do a real estate association for the Latin?
Well, remember what I had said right like towards the beginning of when we started talking. You know, our families come here from a completely different set of standards and laws and thinking and culture and society. Everything is different. Everything is different. So my inspiration for starting the Latin RIA was to give to my community the thing that I wish my parents had when they first moved in here or when they got here to this country, right? Like if somebody comes to, like for example, my cousin, I was able to get him out of Cuba. I don't know if you guys know about Cuba, but the thing over there, it's a disaster. It's a disaster, and it's an outright damn shame. It's a human rights abuse. They're starving the people out there, and they're using all kinds of rhetoric and propaganda to lie to the whole country. And it isn't until people that actually have the opportunity to leave. It's not only until they leave that they realize that kind of like the sheath comes over their eyes and they're like, oh my God, there's so much abundance in the world.
Yeah.
You know, people in Cuba have never seen a Walmart.
Wow.
They don't know what it's like to walk in and just go buy batteries,
Yeah.
or just go buy Tylenol, or just go buy a set of tires.
No malls, no mega centro or anything like that.
No, and it's not even about the mega centers. My cousin, he gets out of Cuba and the first thing he sees is like a gasoline station market in Honduras. And he almost cried. He's like, bro, they have candy and they have hot dogs and they have this and yeah. So imagine coming from that type of place and then landing here in the United States with the amount of opportunity that you have in this country.
Yeah.
What do you do? What do you do?
It's so funny you're saying this. One guy I know, I never knew he was in real estate because he owns like a music shop. But really what he does is real estate investing. He has a group of 100 friends, very close friends and family member. What they do, they send Zelle, well, it wasn't Zelle back in the days, it was another way, $100. 100 of them put $100 and it comes up every Friday. There's $10,000 in the account. They've been doing this in Miami forever. They bought up as many properties down there, which are well over $1 million right now. Right now, how I end up knowing that, he accidentally Zelled me over $1,000. And then when he called me, he says, man, I thought it was another Max I was selling it to. I didn't know it was you. And then I said, not a problem, I'll bring it to you. So when I brought it to him and he filled me in, he said, this is what I've been doing. He says, right now I'm buying out of Detroit. I'm buying all the smaller stuff because eventually I know that they're gonna grow. There's gonna be growth.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're buying everywhere, like Iowa, Indiana. It's like this place is open to
Yeah, I mean, outside of this particular area, right, here in South Florida is super competitive.
Yes.
Right? Another reason that people are basically, having to get out of their houses because taxes are going up is because more people are coming down here.
Yes.
There's consistently an influx of people coming into
Always.
Florida. And can you blame them? I mean, look outside.
Yeah.
Look at this.
Come on.
I mean, for real.
Yeah, that's paradise.
Yeah, it's paradise here.
Yeah.
Like I live 5 minutes away from the beach, but
Yes.
all of us live at least 30 minutes away from the beach.
Yes.
Max 45 minutes.
Yes.
There's people that, for example, my girlfriend lives in Montana.
Okay.
And to get to the beach, they have to fly. Yeah, there's no beaches. The only beaches are like the lakes they got.
Yeah.
But that's not the same.
Exactly.
And you don't hear the ocean waves crashing, the smell of the
Yeah.
salt water,
Yeah.
right? Just salt water in general from the ocean is just always like clean and it's
Yes.
refreshing. And they just don't have that. Down here we have the weather.
Oh yes.
It's always sunny.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
So it's, living down here is, it's like the best, right?
That's the reason I never left. I got here
Right.
and I said, this is where I need to be.
Yeah. The humidity is kind of crazy sometimes.
Yeah.
But, that's only if you're outside, right? Like if you're inside, your AC works good. But anyways, the point being that a lot of people are moving down here.
Yes.
And so when they buy these houses at a much higher price, that lifts, right, the appraised value
Mhm.
to all the houses around there.
Yes.
So then the property appraiser from the county comes and says, well, I guess everything is worth more. And if everything is worth more, right, the taxes are going to be higher because they're calculated off of a higher number now.
Yeah.
Although there are ways to go back to the county, right, and try to mitigate that. We're actually doing that right now. The
Yeah.
property we just bought, they're trying to charge us like $6,000 in taxes. I'm like, no, it's impossible. It's a 912 square foot house.
Wow.
You're not going to charge me $6,000. So there's particular ways of taking advantage of the what is it called? The appeal system that the property appraisers have down here in the counties, right?
Yeah.
Another thing is if that's your primary property, if it's your primary residence, there is something called homestead, which limits the pace at which your taxes can go up. I think they cap it at 3% per year, if I'm not mistaken.
Mhm.
So if taxes go up 10%, you're capped right at 3%.
That's
It's a protection down here, right?
Yeah.
So there are caveats, man. But I would say that the biggest thing is that financial literacy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Once you know, then you could own. That's how they say the more you know, the more you can own. The more you learn is the more you can learn.
Correct.
I mean, earn. So that makes sense. Marty did a lot of Carre. He's the property appraiser. I'm part of a chamber of commerce, and it's a Haitian American Chamber of Commerce. So every now and then he would come and actually do presentation for us.
Mm-hmm.
And those presentations are, when we hear all the loopholes that's available, and like, no wonder, and we quote something in the Bible that says, "My people are perishing for lack of knowledge." Literally, the fact that we don't know about certain things, we're there complaining about the system, while the system is all about knowing who can do what for you and educate yourself to know what to ask.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's that and knowing, I like to say like knowing your numbers.
Yeah.
Meaning, having some kind of software. For example, there's a website called Empower. It's completely free.
Mm-hmm.
That website, you go in there and you register all your bank accounts, right? Or
Mm-hmm.
wherever you do your checking, your banking.
Yes.
You log into all your different retirement accounts, your Roth IRA custodian,
Mm-hmm.
right? If you have a life insurance, you log in through your life insurance. And so what it does, it calculates your net worth, right? If you have any properties that you own, you add the properties, right?
Yeah.
So it can calculate with a pretty high level of accuracy
Yes.
what it is that you're worth, right? Not only that, but every month it gives you basically like a baby profit and loss. It tells you, hey, look, this month you made this much more money than what you spent.
Okay.
Right? And so why I'm saying that is because if you can look at your expenditures, right? Yeah, I can always tell people, hey, you should tighten up. But there gets to a point where you tighten up, and I know this because I've done it before.
Yeah.
Like you tighten up that you're up to your neck. Yeah, because you're so tight on money, and not because you're tight on money. It's because you're tightening up on money.
Yeah, you're being disciplined.
You're being so disciplined though that it chokes you.
Yeah.
And like, for example, recently I've been like that. I've been like just no money, no spending, just really to look at exactly what it is that I need in order to make my business run.
Yes.
Right? And there's little subscriptions here and there that you do, et cetera, et cetera. So what I did was for like about 2 months now, I've just been kind of like laying low. I've been hanging out up here, watching the sunset.
Yeah.
If I buy beer, I have like a 6-pack in the fridge, right?
Yeah.
I'm not really going out. And but it's gotten to a point where, I'm like, damn, I miss having fun. Yeah, like I miss going outside.
What's the point being in Florida and not having fun?
Correct. So that's my point. There's a fine line,
Yes.
right, between being financially disciplined and responsible, and then taking it a little bit too far and not really enjoying your life. So I don't know about you, but I didn't sign up to this thing so I can not have fun and be like a freaking monk the whole time. I'm just not,
That affects your vibration as well. So let's say we have somebody that's listening to this or probably going to see this on a replay. What would you tell them if they probably have their head in the sand for a reason or another? They're not seeking help, or they're afraid of people that might take advantage of them. And while there's literally genuine help, I've heard people before that actually assisted them to even be able to keep the house and resell it, and then they were able to keep it. Everybody got a change out of that.
Correct. So look, it depends on the situation of the person, right?
Yeah.
But I'd say that the number one thing that I've learned in situations, because what you're essentially, right, when the body or the mind perceives an attack, or it perceives that something's attacking it, whether it's a new bill or a bill that you can't pay, right? That's usually like a big trigger. Or it's a loss of income, like, oh my God, how am I going to take care of this now? Your body doesn't think of that as like some abstract thing. It feels like it's an attack. So your body wants to go into fight, flight, or freeze. Where like anxiety attacks happen, right? It's really in the more of like the flight and freeze, right? Like those moments where you just want to put the covers over your head and cry and not do anything.
Yeah.
Like that's a real thing, right?
Yes.
I have felt that before, and it's really uncomfortable. Yeah, so what do you do in those situations though? When you're like, oh my God, like you feel like you're literally gonna die,
Yes.
right? What I've learned to do is to get up and like take a shower.
Mm-hmm.
Why am I saying get up and take a shower? Because taking a shower is like a win. It's one thing that you can do that doesn't really cost you anything.
Yes.
Right? Or maybe going out for a walk.
Yes.
You know, for me, walking, it just gets the blood flowing. And what it does, it forces your body to have to move.
Yes.
Right? Instead of being in that freeze or
stagnation
flight,
way.
yeah, or in stagnation, you're getting yourself up and you're moving,
Yeah.
right? And you're moving, right? If somebody's in a situation, in a financial situation that feels sticky, and it has to do with real estate, you guys feel free to call me.
Yeah.
Feel free to set up an appointment with me.
Yeah.
Tell me you saw me on Max's podcast.
Yeah.
Not only that, let's say you don't trust me, you don't know me. Totally get it. You don't have to. Reach out to a community. Reach out to a real estate community. Go to Google and put like real estate meetup or real estate investors association.
Mm-hmm.
Something along those lines so
Yeah.
you can get your head out and you could get different opinions,
Yes.
right? You could get different opinions, right? That's what I would say. Reach out to an organization and move your body around. Gather the little wins,
Yes.
the little W's.
Yes.
Those are really important.
And I'm so glad you mentioned that, because when you're actually moving, it helps remove the bad energy in your body that's really making you be stagnant and not wanting to do things. So that's why they say Tesla talk about energy, frequency, and then vibration. So by you actually moving, it forces the body to actually use energy. And if you have a bunch of bad energy, then it's being used up to help shift your frequency, where the body will be vibrating differently. Because I've seen people, when they're stressed, they go and do boxing or they go run, and then after that they feel all that nonsense like just withered away, and they're like, okay, I see clearer now, because the blockage that's in the body is no longer there.
Absolutely.
I definitely would love Antonio for you to give them your number, because there are some people, even after they hear this, they'll feel hopeful, but one thing will come up and says, you know, is it true? You know what? Let me try. Let me try to call him and see if possibly my situation, can he help me in that situation? Can I do a transition, especially for the older folks? Like heard a bunch of them did reverse mortgage, and it's starting biting them, you know, and they don't know that there are people out there who have the resources to be able to make a change on that, and then they end up finding another avenue that's more profitable for them.
Yeah, I mean, look, you mentioned reverse mortgages, and in my opinion, they're just a scam.
Yes.
Straight up scam, because they're basically refinancing their property,
Yeah.
but they're not getting their money. They're
Yeah.
getting their money paid out little by little.
Yeah.
So the bank keeps that money, and the bank is making money off of the money
Yeah.
that you're supposed to receive.
Yes.
So I think that's a complete scam.
Yes.
I really do.
Yes.
I'd say 50% of the short sales that I do, or 50% of the clients that I work with,
Yeah.
they are in a reverse mortgage situation. Yeah.
Yeah.
And what happens is that they, the taxes go up.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden they can't pay it because you're responsible for the taxes. The bank doesn't pay the taxes with a reverse mortgage. And so guess what? Maybe when they were 75 they could do it, but now they're 81, 82, 83, and things are just getting, they're a little bit tougher. It's a little bit harder to do the stuff that they used to do.
Yeah.
And 10 years, imagine where a tax is going to be 10 years from now. They're going to be higher.
Yeah.
They're going to be higher. So you can't count on a reverse mortgage. I think that's a complete scam. But if anybody out there has problems with the reverse mortgage, what you want to do, my phone number is 954-231-1112. So again, my phone number is 954-231-1112. You can also visit me on my website, antlop.com. It's like Antonio Lopez, ANTLOP.com. Antlop.com. So those are the two places. And if you guys are on Instagram, look for Tony_Casas_.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm having some of the people that they're texting me because the way I have the live set up on this platform is that it shows my number on top. So anybody that didn't catch the number, once you text me, just say I want to speak to the real estate guy, Antonio. I'll definitely connect you because and we have people who are actually watching from like different states and they want to be able to get some properties down here
Yeah.
because they're looking to shift. Because where they are, there's no beaches, there's a bunch of lakes.
Yeah.
And when they come here, they spend hours on the beach because they know wherever they're going, there's no beach.
Yeah.
So they like to take advantage of that. And just so that our people know is that we intend, even if it's once a month or bi-weekly, we're going to do something like that where we're speaking about financial health when it comes to possibly investment, especially real estate. And anybody that you know that may be looking to really get properties or want to be coached, because I know you're putting together a coaching program.
So I have a coaching program already.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
So like for those people that are coming out of state, those are the perfect kind of people to come out here because they're coming from a different set of laws in
Yes.
their state. When you come over here, you'd be surprised. Florida is super friendly when it comes to real estate investors. They're great with us. Even the tenant landlord laws, even though some of them are, there for what is it called, for good purposes,
Yes.
right? To avoid any kind of misuse. At the end of the day, for example, Ron DeSantis just passed something, I think it was in July, that changed the way that evictions happen, right? If somebody's not paying, they can't stay, right? Where before, have you heard of squatters?
Yes, squatters.
Yeah,
Yes.
squatters are people who stay at a property and they take advantage of the system,
Yeah.
and they stay in there for a year. And there's professional squatters,
Yes.
right? So we're not talking about the people that are actually having like a hard time. We're talking about folks who are professional squatters. They'll come in, they'll pretend like they're good, they'll give you fake paperwork, and then once they're actually in the property and they've rented your property,
Yeah.
they just stay and squat for a year. They know all the papers and documents that they have to submit at court to be kicking the can down the road.
Wow.
They're professional squatters. So
Yes.
yeah, Florida is a great place to invest in real estate.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, guys, if you guys have any suggestion or question for our next show, definitely, you guys know me. Once I start something, I keep it rolling. So we're grateful that we had you here.
My pleasure.
And we got the folks to really experience what it's like to be able to really get to know, having the knowledge so that you can take advantage of all the opportunities that exist in the real estate realm.
Yeah. And look, I do a 2.5-day workshop to cover all of this stuff.
Okay.
So if anybody out there is interested in the 2.5 days, it really will change the way that you see real estate investing down here in South Florida. I cover my formula. My acquisitions formula is FAX: find, acquire, and exit the property. So with those three things, with that three-pronged formula, you're pretty much guaranteed success. All you have to do is do the work. So. But anyways, I'm really glad you invited me to be on the podcast. I appreciate it. I want to say hi to my mom. Hey, Mom. But anyways, yeah, I really appreciate it, brother.
My brother, stay blessed.
Yeah, man.
And we definitely gonna have another one where we're gonna go into certain details because this is affecting the people's health. And it keeps them up at night. And that's when a lot of disease come about. And just because of lack of information.
I agree, 100%. If I could say help save some lives,
yeah,
I'm all for it.
And give your number one last time so that they can have it, just in case.
My number is 954-231-1112. 954-231-1112.
Awesome. Y'all take care. Bye-bye. A lot of love. Stay blessed, y'all. All right.
Awesome.
Yes, definitely. We had 740 viewers.
Really?
Yeah.
That is a lot of fun.
For the first time